Hello, my wonderful friends. Thanks for joining me. I have something so super special to share with you. I'm excited beyond belief, but let me start off by saying welcome. Welcome to Creating and Recrafting, the collaboration that has been hosted by me and Carol of Carol's Recrafted Boutique. We've been doing this for some time now, uploading once a month. Using saving our cash and using our stash is a little catchphrase that I came up with for it. I did want to tell you that today is the last Creating and Recrafting collab that we're going to do. We'll be moving on and moving forward to hashtag swap and sew. And that is a collaboration. It's open and we have 3 dates that we're going to upload. And if you want to exchange fabrics with somebody and then sew something either by hand or with your sewing machine, and then share it on the dates that we're going to upload. I'll make sure to attach my video of that in my description box in case you're interested in participating in that. Now, let's get to this. I'm so excited, I can't stand it. All right, my friend Dale McBay at Not Too Shabby Chic sent me a purse, and that was in a haul that I just shared. Well, actually, it was on a Friendship Friday that I just shared a few weeks ago. On a Friday, and she sent me a purse. So this was a purse, and now it's a journal, and I am just so excited to share this with you. As you can see, I added a doily, and I did that to cover the spine area. These are the original handles, and I added this lace to it. If you would like to see the video where I took this purse and disassembled it and turned it into a journal cover, I will link that video in my description box. And before I get started on the flip through, I'm going to show you real quick the materials that I used to create this journal. We've got some coffee dyed paper in purple and pink and red. I've got this 1954 Mechanics Daily magazine pages that I'm going to use, a little bit of vintage music paper, and to top it all off, we are going to use the Lady Vagabond scrapbook pack. I've had this in my stash for a while now, been dying to use it, and I thought this was the perfect project to use it in. This was originally on the shelves in 1995, and then they took it off the shelves for a while, and they have just recently re-released it. I think the images are stunning. I'm in love with it. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip through real quick for you so that you can see some of the images. I'm only using half of the pack though, so 4 of the pages I will use in this project, and then I'm saving 4 of the other pages for a project that I might do in the future. All right, friends, let's get into this. So we open it up, and I used a kit called Lady Vagabond, and you saw that in the beginning of the video. I introduced it to you. So you're gonna see that throughout. You'll see parts of that kit. You're gonna see some of my coffee dyed papers in the shades of purple and blue, maybe a little bit of green also. So on this first page, this is a big flap that I put here, and I did not cut this down to size to fit in this journal because it's such an impressive envelope. I mean, look at the color of it. I didn't have the heart to cut it. So, and I didn't even decorate it. It's so beautifully stained, but you can decorate it if you want to. This will be available in my Etsy shop. I popped a piece of my coffee dyed paper inside, Here is the other side of the envelope, and you can see there's like a rusty paper clip. I didn't do that. That was from the original paper clip that was on this. And this is stamped October 11th, 1989, and you can see the postage. And the person that owned this did a little bit of doodling on it. I did put a few tabs here and there. This is a tag hanging from a bulb pin. Some of these pages I left blank for the new owner to do what they wanted with it. If they use this as a scrapbook, they can put a picture here. If they want to use it to write on it or put paper and write on it, however they want to use it. I wanted to leave some of the pages not decorated so that they could have the freedom to do what they want with it. So here's some of my red coffee dyed paper, and I think it is just perfect in this journal. So here we have a paper flip, and this actually came from the kit, but I went ahead and added paper flip with vintage receipts. These are vintage bank receipts, and then just decorated a little bit. Oh, and these pages, you're gonna see 4 of these through here. This is from a March of 1954, I think Mechanics magazine. So you're going to see this is actual vintage authentic, and you'll see the advertisements, and I think that was perfect for a somewhat steampunk, well, it is a steampunk journal because that's what Lady Vagabond is. She's a traveling steampunker. So here we go. We've got just a coffee dyed index card here, and very, very simple on that. But then we have one of the clusters that I made when Susan Hiles Art did her cluster collaboration, and it might have been Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming also, but I can't remember if it was both of them or if it was just Susan. But anyway, that was a lot of fun, and it fits perfectly in here. Some of my purple coffee dyed paper and a nice tab that matches. And then here we've got this fun little band here, and then there was like this image of a bell, a leather bell, and I thought that was perfect to kind of hold this into place. And this is just a quick book that I put together just for journaling. I thought if somebody wanted to use this as a traveler's notebook, they could, and they could literally carry it by these handles, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. Easy way for your journal to be quite mobile. This I just left plain on this side so that you could see the authentic advertisements, and then it does say down here March 1954. The paper is fine, and so here and there I did some things to strengthen it, give it some substance, especially if I used a band on the other side. I just wanted to give it some structure. So here's another one of those flips that I put together, and pages of vintage bank statements that you can write on. Of course, put a feather here and some satin ribbon, some more of my dyed paper. So here we have a nice little envelope flip, and this is for seeds, but it's got the great window in it, so I put a vintage postcard inside so you can see right through it and see this gentleman. And over here you can just pull that out and you can write on that. You can write on this as well. And then here I did a paper flip with my gray coffee dyed paper, and then you can see more of the leather things I used to look like it was holding the paper in place. When we flip that over, we have a little bit of an interactive page here. We have some nice coffee dyed paper in a pocket, quite simple, but then we have a little envelope here, and this is a vintage photo. I'm not even sure what these were from, but it had something to do with photographs. I don't know if you were supposed to mount yours or they came out of a scrapbook. Maybe that's what it was. These came out of an old scrapbook. As you can see, I wound some fibers through there. And then on this side, we've got a couple of things going on. First, we have this little flip that you could write in, and then let me scooch this up so you can see it. This flips open, and then it flips open again so you could write, whoops, so you could write right here if you wanted to. So that's a nice interactive piece. And then here we have a little side pocket and a tag. And I back that with vintage bank statement. That was our center spread, so I better share with you that on this center spread, since this is a steampunk theme, I went ahead and put a little skull and crossbones. Then we have this nice paper flip with my coffee dyed paper. These are the goggles here, and then these flip, and as well as these. Here we've got a nice pocket on our vintage book page, and this is a very grungy piece of coffee dyed paper that I made. I wrinkled the paper before I dipped it, and then that's how I got these wrinkles to be so impressive. This butterfly is an image from Dreaming Hearts Company. I will be sure to link her in my description box. Here we've got a nice little dangle. This is like a cogwheel, and it is dangling from a fabric, what do we call that, tab, I guess. Here, okay, I had fun making this. I have some vintage checkbook holders, and it's dated, and then what I did is I added my own papers to it. So this can be used as a little mini journal. I thought that was pretty fun. And then the years 83, 84, and 85 are right there. This I left plain so the owner can do whatever they would like. This page we have 2 tags with some fabric tabs, and the fabric tabs match the cover, well, the inside of the cover. This is a piece of a vintage envelope, and it had gone through the mail October 27th, and this was 1966. I think that's pretty cool, and then it's just backed with coffee dyed paper so it can be written on. And this is a tab from the Scrapbook kit, Lady Vagabond. Some of my purple coffee dyed paper. This is just a nice piece of that magazine, March 1954. I just think that's so cool with a little fabric tab on it. Some of my red coffee dyed paper. Here we have a nice pocket with some lace on it, and I took an image from a vintage National Geographic, and I mounted that on cardstock, and then I just added some papers, and some of them are vintage, as you can see. And this can be like a little notebook for jotting down little notes or adding little photographs, whatever you wanted to do. That is the end of our first signature, and so this is the spine of the book, and you saw in the construction of the book how, I'm sorry, I still have glue on my fingers. I just finished this and I was so excited. I wanted to flip through it immediately, so there's a little bit of glue in my fingers. I apologize for that, and I'm stained too with ink, but whatever. So here we are. Anyway, I hope that I explained how I did this in the video. I can't remember. So here we have a vintage postcard that Dale of Not Too Shabby Chic gave me. She gave me this purse as well, and you know that I added this fabric to it. I think I showed that in the video. And then we have a little dangle down here. It's a little tiny key on a bulb pin. And in here I stuffed a map. Since it's like a traveling theme, I stuffed in a vintage map of, it says African exploration on that side, and then here it says South Africa in the 19th century, so that would have been in the 1800s. I thought that was a fun little addition to this fun journal. Over here I've got a vintage postcard also given to me by Dale, and that can be written on, and I put a side pocket, as you can see, but also this little tab down here to hold that firmly in place. Here's a nice big side pocket and some of my coffee dyed lined paper. I feel like I should have showed you some more dangles, but maybe not. I can't. I'll have to search them out. Here we have a fun clear pocket. I absolutely love this acetate pocket with the script on it. And then we have another one of my paper thingies, tabs that I made. Tabs, no, booklets, I suppose. Flip booklets. And this has vintage receipts, and they can be written on as well. Here we have the Lady Vagabond here. She is sitting on her steam trunk, and there is a little dangle here, and it's red. And then this is a gorgeous piece of my coffee dyed paper that I did in blue green, as you can see, and I used a doily to get this print, and it just came out really impressive, and I really like it. So this is a fun piece of paper, and this is the Vintage magazine, and actually this is a piece of leather. It might be faux leather, I can't tell. It feels like real leather, but I can't. The opposite side doesn't make me think it's real leather, but it feels real, so that's kind of neat. I thought perfect for this journal. And some purple coffee dyed paper. So here we have a fun little pocket. This is on a vintage music sheet. We have a little tag here. This says, "Let the future arrive one day at a time." And there we have some flowers, and it just matches so perfect with the purple paper. And then we have a little key dangling down here. Here's our little tag, and that has a little tab on it. Then we flip over to this side. We have another tag in here. And this is another one of the clusters that I made in Susan Heil Art's collaboration, and that was a lot of fun. More purple coffee dyed paper. Here we have another somewhat interactive page. So this says "Escape the Ordinary." You flip it up, and then we have some vintage shopping receipts from Woodward and Lothrop, and you can write on those. They've been coffee dyed, and here we go. And then this has the date. It's 6/2/1993, and then this is, you could do whatever you wanted to. Here you could add plain paper if you wanted to write there, whatever. This opens up like this, and so we have more, what do we call these, hinges, and there's some paper here. This is our fabric that we used to make it flip nice and easy, and fabric doesn't crack, so that should last the test of time. And then a nice little card in this envelope. And then down here I have a card, and this was given to me by my friend Pam at Pam Van E is her channel name, and I thought it was perfect. Of course, it's the railroad card, and I thought that was perfect in a steampunk journal. This says, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin," and isn't that true? So there is that. I think that's a pretty fun interactive page. So this is the center spread, and in the center, so the little dangle is a anchor, and I love this. I love the way it looks. I love houses and all of that. So I didn't do anything here. I really want the owner to be able to do whatever they want in the center spread, so I left it as is. Then when we turn over, we've got this beautiful coffee dyed paper that I made, and I just think it's just really cool. I hope I can repeat that, and get a similar look. None of my coffee dyed papers ever come out the same because I don't follow a specific formula. I always experiment every single time, so I can never really repeat, but I can certainly try. And I never write anything down of how I did it. It keeps it fun for me to relearn it every single time, so I don't like it to become monotonous or boring, so I just feel like I wing it every time, and that's very exciting for me. So here we have a vintage music sheet that I added a pocket to and decorated with a padlock, and then this is a nice tag that I made. And somebody can add a pocket to this on the front and the back. They can add paper to it if they want. I just wanted it to be decorated, and then the person who owns this can have the freedom to do with it what they want. Here's another part of that old envelope, October 27th, 1966. So I made a pocket out of that and just added two simple little tags. More purple coffee dyed paper with a matching tab. So this piece, let me tell you about this. First of all, let me not miss this nice little hanging charm here that says hope on it, and it's the perfect color for this journal. So this piece was given to me by my friend Marie at Hope Vintage Sales. This feather was given to me by Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic, and I just added the feather because it just added just that little extra touch to it. And then I added this matching fabric. You can see it matches the inside of the journal. And then we have a piece of graph paper inside this side pocket. This whole thing becomes a pocket. And as you can see, it is attached to this vintage music paper. Since this pocket is large and has a little weight to it, I added washi tape on both sides. I did use glue stick under it just to make sure it stays. You know, I don't really trust washi tape, but I did that just to add some strength to the page. And here we have a nice little envelope, and I added a playing card, a vintage playing card to it. Oops, there we go. You could add something else if you wanted to. I just thought that was kind of cute to put in there. Here we have some more red coffee dyed paper. Another of the vintage magazine pages. Left blank just so that you can, you know, just have fun with it. And so that you can see the advertisements. I didn't want to cover all of them up. I thought that was fun. And because it was called like Modern Mechanics or something, I thought that was great with the steampunk thing. There's a lot of tools in here. So on our last little page, we have a pocket, and there's some dangles here, and then we have the kitty cat with the goggles. And this is a leather pocket, and then some of my blue and yellow coffee dyed paper. This is pretty fun. And then on the very last page, we have this fun dangle and a pocket here with some gears on it. And when you pull this out, it's got some of my green coffee dyed paper with a tab, as you can see. And this could be written on, and even the back as well. And the tab is decorated on the front and the back. This is the inside of the purse journal, as you can see. And this is my signature. It says handmade by Creating with Jovi, and then I signed it. And then of course here's the other handle. Here's the back of the journal. And then you could, if you wanted to secure everything inside, tie a little ribbon around here, and I actually might do that prior to selling it, and that way it'll come with a ribbon. You can change it out and use your own. But I hope you love it as much as I do. I am absolutely crazy about it. I love the way that it came together. Thank you, Dale, for sending me a wonderful purse to turn into a journal. It's the first one I've ever done. Thank you, Carol at Carol's Crafted Boutique, for doing this wonderful collaboration with me. It's been a blast, and I always appreciate doing fun collabs with you. And for you, all of my friends watching, I really appreciate you spending some time with me. So as always, thanks for watching. See you soon.